Hey you guys, alright, so today I'm going to do a video on RV parks. Sorry, I missed last week. We were actually dealing with a medical emergency of sorts, but I'm back now making our videos. Alrighty, so this week I'm going to go into RV parks. So far, this one is my favorite. Um, for multiple reasons, but one is my family's very outdoorsy, and love going to RV parks. So, by default, this might be an amazing business for us. So let's do a deep dive. What is an RV park? And is it simple? Yeah, it's a real estate investment of sorts that's set up to rent sections of land for RV and other vehicle owners or other people. Sometimes, RV parks have campers on a nightly, weekly, or monthly basis. An example would be KOA, but most of them are mom and pop shops, which make it really good for what I want to do because I'm not going to be able to go buy a KOA, but I can buy a mom and pop shop of someone who would like to retire. All right, history of the industry. Is it old and is it proven? Yes. Actually, RV grounds started to get organized back in the 1920s. And then in the 1940s, RVs boomed as Americans wanted affordable ways of travel. And then in the 60s, KOA was launched and modern RV parks started to take shape. In 1980s, they started adding more amenities to parks. And then 2010, glamping became popular. And most recently, due to COVID, this industry is booming. So many people have taken to a nomadic lifestyle and love the idea of being able to work virtually so they can do so. Man, I tell you what, that is one of my dreams to be able to really be a nomad and work virtually and travel all over the place. Are there contractual elements? Well, RV parks are essentially rental lots, very small rental lots, and the terms can change monthly, weekly, whatever that looks like. So both on a short-term and long-term basis. It does not require any special training to start or own an RV park. However, it's a very sizable investment. $500,000 to $10 million investment to buy. And it can be hard to get a loan. And you need 20 to 30% down. So it can definitely be an industry hard to get into. And you have zoning and regulation rules to follow as well. However, some trends about the industry. It is a high growth industry. Manufacturers literally cannot keep up with demand. I just saw a ad on Facebook about a RV expo of sorts coming. I actually thought about going and checking it out. I haven't decided yet. It would be a really cool way to learn more about this industry since I'm so excited about it. But buyer market due to nomadic lifestyle. So RVs are in demand. The RV lifestyle is in demand. It is a type of outdoor hospitality, and all of that industry has really been super, super busy since COVID because COVID changed the world. It changed how people work and vacation. We literally just hit what, the 5 year mark? Can you believe it's been 5 years since COVID? Feels like it just happened. Alrighty. However, there's a lot of RV parks in the country, 13,000. However, not a whole lot in Georgia. Georgia only has 231. So I may have to go out of state if I want to buy an RV park. We'll see what happens. Alright, so here's our SWOT analysis on the industry. High demand and high growth. It's definitely a hot spot to be right now. Recurring revenue. Some of these people, stay for a long-term basis. It has diverse streams of revenue. You could have a vending machine. Let me just tell you. All right, so if you have a commercial piece of property, a vending machine on site can add somewhere between $5,000 to $10,000 in your valuations. It is crazy. I don't remember all of the ins and outs on how they came up with that, but it was just wild when I was going through the class and realized that having a vending machine on the property can astronomically increase your value based on, the income that a vending machine might make. And then, you could do a store or a camping or firewood or whatever. There's so many different add ons and ways you can make money on an park. So the revenue streams are definitely quite diverse. Some of the weaknesses of this industry: it is real estate dependent with high investment costs. It is heavily seasonality. Like it's heavily influenced by seasonality. Winter is probably not the time to go to an RV park unless you're in Florida and then you have the snowbirds coming down, right? It is labor extensive, so you're going to have a team to help you run it. And then I didn't know this, but some places limit RVs over 10 years old. That's a really interesting thing to think about. I wonder why. I wonder what all the ins and outs of that look like. How, many people would that be pushing away? All of those things. All right, next is opportunities. So you could create a niche like luxury, long term. As I said, so many people are doing this virtual work nomadic lifestyle. And there is a big need for long term RV parks that will allow people to stay more than a couple of nights. I think what I heard was you can stay in some 10 to 30 nights, but then you have to move it for 5 days or less, like 2 or 3 days, 5 days, something like that, before you could come back. And I'm sure that's due to regulations. So, how to figure out how to solve that problem would definitely be a huge opportunity in this space. You could do partnerships or upselling. So partnerships could be in your local community to pull in more traffic, and then upselling is, selling firewood or, things of that nature. And then we all know AI is changing the world, so technology definitely gives us a lot of other opportunities. And then the threats. It can be negatively impacted by economic downturns because it is outdoor hospitality, and economic downturns can negatively affect all areas of hospitality. You can have high competition based on where you're located. And then environmental risks, zoning, and regulation. There's a lot of zoning and regulation issues, which is why, the long term problem exists in this industry. I know in our community, it would be very, very hard to start one of these. And that just is based on zoning and regulations. One other piece on here that should have been on the strengths, but that's not, is the camping community. The RV community is very tight knit, which that's actually probably coming up on a slide here in a minute. Some questions to think about before you buy an RV park. How many camper nights do they have per year? Look at the financials. Is there any way to increase revenue, decrease expenses? How many sites? Can you add any sites? Are those sites long term, short term, seasonal? Is it a good location? Is it near an attraction? Is the land properly zoned, and is it following all regulations? Just because they get away with not following those things now doesn't mean that you will when you buy it. So those are definitely big things to look at before you buy an RV park. Is the land in a floodplain? Are there any drainage issues? How's the infrastructure? Is there anything that needs to be improved to help things keep running smoothly? Is everything up to date? Maintenance, the electricity, utilities up to date, good shape? Does the location have good internet? That's a big deal. If these people are working virtually to have this nomadic lifestyle, internet is absolutely crucial. Is it owner managed or team managed? And how much effort does it take to run the park? All right, so valuations and financing. RV parks are a high yield investment returning 10 to 20% of your money. So it's a great investment in the real estate world. It's one of the highest yielding of all real estate classes. There's very little owner financing in this space. However, when owner financing is used, it will mean a lower price. All right, clients. There are so many types of clients for RV parks. Historically, most common clients are snowbirds, as I mentioned before. These people are, living up north and they just want to get away from the cold. However, in recent times, nomads are more common, calling for the need for full-time RVers and people who like to travel, families who want affordable vacation options. All right, so can your ideal client afford the cost? Yes, but pricing varies. Oh, let's see if this changes anything. Hold on. I thought I hooked up my microphone earlier, but I did not. All right, so back to the video. Can your ideal client afford the cost? I've actually decided to change that question moving forward and look more at price in general because, yeah, or this industry wouldn't exist. But budget RV parks can charge $20 to $50 a night. Mid-range is $50 to $100. Luxury is $100 to $250 a night. And then long-term contracts can be $500 to $1,500 a month. So, there's an RV park out there for every budget. All right, so strong client retention. Yes, the park is well managed and a well connected community. So, as I mentioned before, the RV community is super well connected and, easy to target. As I said, next week, something like that, Atlanta's having an RV show. And there's going to be so many people in the RV community there, and I bet you a lot of them are going to know each other. So if you really are able to build this, a good reputation, you're going to have clients that really connect with that. Are they in pain? No pain, but it does meet a need. It just depends on the situation and which client base you're talking about at the time. No dying allowed. This industry is not dying. It's the best growing industry thus far in my research. However, I will say that's not why it's my favorite. Yes, those are great things. However, before I even knew that piece, my family has talked about starting an RV park of sorts. We just do a lot of camping and outdoorsy stuff, and it just really fit who we are and what we like to do with our time. Exit. You can resell. That's the most common strategy. However, KOA is proof that you can franchise. Just doesn't happen very often in this space. Thinking about selling? Well, a couple of things to think about first. Who will buy it? This question is the number one question that people need to ask before they sell a business anywhere, any industry. And is there anything you can do to help maximize your resale value? Make sure your financials are clean and clear. Keep occupancy rates and retention as high as possible. Update infrastructure if needed. Build or maintain a strong online presence. And plan ahead for the taxes. Everything comes down to how your financials look when you're looking to sell a business. Awesome. Well, thanks so much for watching, and I will be back next week.